Yeah, that's you. I'm just tired. So what do we have on the docket, guys? We have exercise 12, 13, and 14. Exercise 12 is just the muscle fiber. I want to go over it briefly at the end of class, just as a reference kind of for the test, your lecture test. We're going to go over it in more detail later. And one thing I want to avoid in that darn model is the actin and the myosin. Oh, I hate that. But the goal is, let me just show you the model again, help refresh for lecture. We're going to go over it in more detail for our test, okay? And that takes care of exercise 12 for today. Now, exercise 13, literally, there is no getting ready for the lab midterm on this, but take a look at exercise 13 because it'll help you with your lecture. I'm not banning it for my lecture folks. We went over this content, right? But we don't have anything under exercise 13 as actual content for the lab final. It's literally 3 pages. So again, we're not going to really talk about that for lab. What are we going to do, guys? Are you ready? Get your lab manuals out. Page 101. Let's get it. Let's do it, guys. Okay, we did it. We are not going to think negatively, even though it's hard. Trust me. I'm sure all of us fight the negative thoughts every day. I do, all the time. I literally tell myself, I'm not going to do it. I literally tell myself constantly, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to hate on myself. I'm not going to do it. Even though I recognize and I just keep going. You got to shut off that. And today, we're shutting it off because we're going to knock out most of the models. Okay, so we have a list in front of us, guys. Everyone should be on page 101, okay? Now, yes. And it's going to be quick, Brisa. It's going to be quick because I want to just reinforce what we did in lecture, right? We meaning my class and you meaning your classes as well. So we're just going to go over the striated muscle. Don't worry about so much the axon terminal. We'll talk about the very quickly with the model, the neuromuscular junction. It's just really to reference so that gives you a little boost on the lecture, okay? Yeah, exactly. We're going to go into more detail for the final, okay? But right now, I just want to give you a visual kind of reference for that. Okay, but our goal today, I know, I wanted to make sure we did it, but I really also want to make sure that we are like knee deep in muscles. So everyone should be on page 101. We are really going to focus on 101. Now, there's a lot of great stuff. There's great information within exercise 13, right? Exercise 14, excuse me. You've got a bunch of charts, right? Get them filled out and kind of look through them in terms of what we need to know, which we're going to talk about in a second. So back to page 101. You know my focus. My focus is on what you need to know to get the points, right? That's all under getting ready for the lab final. So the nice thing about this, even though you see a big list of words, you're going to find that a lot of it is doubled because we've got something called a mini muscle figure. And it literally is a man and a woman, and it's a model. And all of the lists that you see here under mini muscle figure, those are all repeated in our bigger models. So I've got a muscle head model, I've got a leg muscle, I've got an arm muscle. And these are individual models. So what you're going to see is I'm repeating some of these muscles in the different models, right? So it's not technically that bad. It's just the big thing. Yeah, you got to get Kimberly's pictures, my friends. Get those pictures. If it's too much, the printing, because I know that can get kind of pricey or whatnot, just put it in a PowerPoint. Put the arrows on everything. Use your atlas. Put the arrows on everything you need to label, right? So maybe you want to have one model on 3 slides and put 2 arrows on each slide. And then that way, you've got the images you're going to be tested on. Right, guys? So with that being said, one of the things we talked about, go for it. Listen, the firm. Don't get me started on the firm. All right, guys. But if you are not lucky enough to have free access to a printer, don't feel like you have to spend a lot of money. Put it in a PowerPoint, obviously label it, put arrows. So as you just literally go through it, write down the name, and then double check in your master list. Okay, guys? It's not free at school. No, you got to pay. The first maybe 50 or 25 are free, maybe, but no, you got to pay after a certain point. So it's not all free. So remember, guys, when we talked about bones, and one of the really, in the bone markings especially, because the bone was a bone, right? Hey, what's this bone? But the bone markings became more challenging because you had to know where you were, right? You had to know, am I anterior, am I posterior, am I medial, am I lateral? Because you had to know, well, am I looking at the capitulum or am I looking at the lateral, what am I thinking of? Am I looking at the capitulum or am I looking at the lateral epicondyle? Right? So you had to be able to know what you're doing immediately. That is going to majorly come into play here. Not so much for the idea of right or left, right? But the idea of, I have three Kimberly Dutton images, and they could be slightly different. So in one picture, I see the two triceps heads, long and lateral, clearly. But in another image, that lateral head, I can't see it. So what happens in that situation is you will make a very common mistake of calling the long head the lateral head. Don't worry, we're going to go all over this. You don't need to know what I'm saying yet. The point is, you must be able to look at these models and recognize where you are very quickly. Orientation. Right, guys? Does that make sense? And we're going to do this. So if you were not really into the lectures before, come on board and pay the heck attention, because in this class together we do the work, right? Then when you go study, you're like, okay, I remember we did this. Okay, that's right. Right, guys? So have your textbook open. You still have pictures, even though they're illustrations. Get your atlas. Get your handy dandy sticky note out so you can be making notes and sticking it on your atlas. That way you've got a good chunk of the work done. You just got to get it in your memory. Get it in my memory. Get it in my memory. Okay, guys, you see where we're going with this? So we're going to really dig into the muscles from the perspective of, what am I looking at very quickly? Okay? Listen, I've got work to do today. Let's not even go there. All right. So we're kind of oriented in our mind, cognitively. Where do we want to go? How are we going forward with this? Okay, guys? So let's go ahead and get started. For your reference, somebody in my last class asked which PowerPoints I'm working on. I have no idea what PowerPoints are on Blackboard. I made this PowerPoint. So this is Miss Nicholas' PowerPoint. It goes in the order that makes sense for me, so I will show you. I have Blackboard images, right? So the bulk of the images obviously are from Blackboard, what you'll be tested on. I have some illustrations, and I have some other images of the same models, but it's not a Blackboard image. You see where I'm going with this? All right, so we can do this. Let's do this. All right, people. See, I'm a cheerleader. I'm okay, right? Sometimes. All right, guys, let's do it. So we are on page 101. Everyone, you have to have your guide manual open. If you have your atlas or textbook, I recommend having that also. And again, take your notes. Whatever you see that visually strikes you, use that as an anchor for the material. Okay, and you're going to see what I mean in just a little bit. All right, guys, first of all, we are in the head. So we're going to be in the head right now. This particular image is actually the mini muscle figure. Now, the nice thing is the mini muscle figure, because it's small, is not going to be as detailed. Now, there's actually not a ton of detail. And I know you don't believe me yet. I know. But there really isn't. For example, we're going to go into just a couple of the facial, and we only have like 3 head muscles, right? Frontalis, temporalis, occipitalis, shockingly associated with the bones, right? So bring in and dig back into your memory from the bones, because you're going to be able to associate that. So you're already 10 to 15% into the material without even knowing it, because you know the bones. And if you didn't, at least you have a recognition of them, and that will help you out. So what are we going to do? Let's start off with the orbicularis, oris, and oculi. Now, oris is mouth. oral, right? Oculi is eye. So the orbicularis oris is going to be around the mouth, okay? And the orbicularis oculi is going to be around the eyes. Okay, now this is small, but if you see under the mini muscle figure, I'm actually going down the list of the muscle head, which we'll get to the head in just a second. But you can see that here we have this on our list, right? So I can see it on the mini model, I can see it on the head model. And of course, wherever possible, I do like to have an illustration so that you guys can see. Here you've got your lovely labeling over here so that you've got that reference for you, okay? Really pretty circular muscles around the mouth, oris, and the eye, oculi, right? So that's awesome. And they're both orbicularis. So just when you're doing this, write it out. Write it out. Obviously, I want you to be able to look at it and know what it is primarily and first, but then I want you to be able to write it out. All right, awesome. So when you do this, we're knocking out both the muscle, the head model, which we'll see, and then we're doing the mini muscle. Okay, now that's about frontalis. Yes, the one on the right is blackboard. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. As I go through, so actually, now, you know what, to be honest, I might have cropped this slightly. I might have cropped this. So I might have cut and pasted it a little bit, but this is absolutely from Blackboard. The other one that you're going to see is frontalis. Yeah, I have the full image, but yeah, so maybe that wasn't super cool, but it's okay. So ultimately, you just need the head for this part of the mini muscle anyway. And then the other one here on the mini muscle figure is going to be the frontalis. Boom, right? Not a problem. We got that right in the front. Okay, and of course, temporalis. You can't see the occipitalis in this view, right, guys? And here you can. They've got a complete lateral view. All right, so you see what we're doing here? Not bad, right? Get these into either print them out, label them, get it into PowerPoint, right? Make them small, put them on a flashcard, whatever works for you. All right, so we knocked out 3 of these, and we're going to see that in the head, actually just the head model in just a little bit. All right, good job. Now, and here it is. Now, some of these images I have from another publisher. So I've added some material. Now, this is actually the head model. It's just a different photographer. So you're going to see that Kimberly Dutton is much brighter, but this is the same model. Excellent, very good. So I do have, there are 2 examples where I have another model that's not in Blackboard, but you'll see why I have it. And then I follow up with Blackboard. It makes sense. All right, so what do you have here? This is from another publisher. Don't worry, we don't need everything. What do we need? Well, let's go back up to the muscle head model, just the head, and we're going to go through some of this with what we can see. And I'm going to use this because it's labeled, and it's nice for you to see the labels, and then I'm going to ask you questions about it. So why don't we just go down the list? Depressor anguli oris. Well, guess what? Oris means what? What does oris means, guys? No. If oculi means eye, what does oris mean? Mouth. Boom. The next one we have is the depressor anguli oris. And if you follow along with this, orbicularis oris. Depressor. I just told you. Depressor right here. Now, it's right by the orbicularis oris. Right? Exactly. It makes you frown. Why? Depression. Down. Levation. Up. Depression down. Exactly. That's right. Exactly. So wherever you can tie these ideas together to let your brain kind of relax and, not be so stressed out, do it. But you can see it really beautifully here. And we're going to get into Kimberly Dutton's picture, so don't you worry. All right. Buccinator. Buccinator, you saw this in the buccal, right? Or cheek. Now, the buccinator is, let's see, it doesn't actually show it here, but it's right here. So on this image, I don't have it labeled. I have it labeled on another image. Don't worry. But the nice thing about the buccinator is that it's in between 2 other muscles. What are those muscles? Well, one is called the masseter. Look at this bad boy. Look at that massive muscle. Temporal bone to mandible. Why? Chewing. You like your steak? You like your broccoli? You get that work done chewing because of the masseter. Right? And let's go to the other muscle that's on the opposite side of the buccinator, and that is called the zygomaticus major. Now, I want to show you something. Sounds like chew in Spanish. See? Because they have Latin roots. Now, English Latin root is far, 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 far. Spanish Latin roots, Italian Latin roots, much closer. So, helpful. So, here, what you'll see on page 101 is something called the zygomatic major. Technically, it's called zygomaticus major, but it's okay. What are you gonna give me? You're gonna give me the zygomatic major. Why? That's what's in your list. Don't worry about it. Don't get stressed out. Just follow your list like a recipe, right? This recipe is for an A. That's it. Just like you follow the recipe to make a delicious whatever it is you want to make, right? And the closer you follow the recipe and the more you practice the recipe, you come with a gourmet everything. All right, exactly. Now, I don't cook, so I can't talk any more about that. All right, awesome. So what you see then is the zygomatic major. Now, it should shock no one that gets what this muscle attaches to. What bone do we have? We have the zygomatic bone, right? So, again, we've got this lovely zygomatic major. We're not worried about the minor. They don't ask for that. We've got this massive masseter here. And then, in between them, we've got the buccinator. It's deeper. It's a deeper muscle. Jensen, do you have a question?
Yes, I did. I wanted to point something out because it's kind of hard for me to see. I see the image, but I just wanted to make sure that I understand what you're saying. So this right here is the zygomatic major, right here? And then this is the one that starts with a B, right?
Yes, exactly. That's the buccinator.
And then this is your masseter, right?
Yes, that's right, the masseter. Now, that's absolutely correct.
Okay.
And in just a second, I'm going to go over that again as well. So, yes, that's right.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And we're going to go over that again in just a second as well. All right, guys, so that's perfect. Now, on this, let's add one more as we go down. So, in order, we've got something called the scalenes. Now, we have an anterior, we've got a posterior scalene, and those scalenes are going to be right behind the sternocleidomastoid. So, these are scalenes. Okay, and I'm going to show you it in another image as well. So that's the scalenes, right? And then you've got the sternocleidomastoid right there. Chunky, chunky, chunky from that mastoid process all the way down to the sternum and the clavicle. It's quite a large muscle. This is going to give you flexion of the neck, right? Like that. And it also does rotation, right? So you're going to get a no out of that. Wait. Oh, I'm sorry, the masseter. Yes, so the masseter, you can see it labeled here, right, guys? And it comes all the way over here. And it's this muscle here. Now, if you've got the atlas, guys, grab that bad boy, pull it out. If not, the scalenes. The scalenes, and I'm going to show you in another image, so don't worry. So the scalenes are back here. They're not actually labeled, but they're back here. That's the scalenes. I'm going to show you this again. Most of these images you're going to see a couple times. So if you don't get first time through, don't worry. It's not a one and done issue. We're going to build. It's for chewing and speaking, right? Because it's going to allow movement at the temporal mandibular joint, right? So primarily for chewing, but you can imagine that if we want movement, we're going to probably use that masseter as well. All right, awesome, guys. Temporalis. Now, this talks about the epicranius. Don't worry about that. We just want the temporalis. Sorry, totally lied. Frontalis. Temporalis is going to be over here. And yes, they call it this auricularis. Don't worry about it. The muscle that we always see in our images is temporalis. Okay? All right. So that's good. For us, we're good. I'm going to show you in just a second. We can't see the digastric here. We can't see the mylohyoid here. I mean, we can see a little bit of the mylohyoid, but it's kind of hard underneath there. And then the mentalis we can't see here, and we just talked about the frontalis. Okay? So that, I'll show you a couple other images, don't worry, but that covers the head pretty much. Now, here's the same picture. So put an X at the zygomaticus major, or zygomatic major. Oh, I don't know. It's not good. I need to, I don't know where mine is. So guys, that's it right there, guys. That's the zygomatic major. Now, technically zygomaticus, but zygomatic is fine. Awesome. There we go. Now, tell me where the masseter is, guys. Where's the masseter? It's a big, yeah, look at that chunky bad boy. Really, really big. Awesome. Now, remember this. The buccinator is between the zygomatic major and the masseter. That's it. Whoever put that blue there, that's it. It's deeper, right? It's like another layer that's underneath it. All right, so that's where we want to put that. And what we do with this is kind of suck in like a whistle, or we also use that to kind of keep food in our cheeks when we're chewing, when we're kind of maneuvering the food. All right, awesome. Now, tell me where this sternocleidomastoid is. Yeah, that's it. Big muscle. That's it, right? Awesome. Now, tell me where the orbicularis oculi is. Watch the term, oculi. That's it, right? Ocular eyes, and it's just the round part. All right, tell me where the orbicularis oris is. Mouth, oral, oris. That's it, all the way around. Now, tell me where the depressor anguli oris is, right? Bringing it down at an angle, oris. That's it, right there. Now, careful, not around. It's more on an angle. It's more like the fibers go on an angle from that mouth. Good, that's right, the depressor. Yes, down. Does the orbicularis oculi include the eyelid? No. We have the levator palpebrae for the eyelid. So that's separate, and that brings up the eyelid. Yeah, y'all know. No, it's okay. Don't even worry about it. Trust me, this is a lot. We just kind of breathe it in. I don't want to. Wait, what happened? The atlas. It's like, oh no. All right, guys, awesome. Now, scalenes. I'm going to show you another image with the scalenes, but yes, that's where it is. Just on the neck behind that sternocleidomastoid, right? That's it. All that area there. No, you're good. You're good. No, you should bring it up, definitely. All right, Jensen, what's your question?
I'm just trying to understand. So you're saying right here is the depressor?
Yes. And it's the whole area here. That's the depressor. That's the depressor anguli oris. Yep.
Okay. Just trying to make sure I understand.
Yep. Problem. All right, awesome. Now, guys, let's look at Kimberly Dutton. So, as you can see, it's the same image. This is actually quite nice. You can see it much nicer. So here is the buccinator labeled. There is the scalene labeled. So you just have to orient yourself around that sternocleidomastoid, right? Because for me, that's the big muscle in the neck that's very easily recognizable. And then from there, you compare, okay? All right, guys, are you ready? Where's the temporalis? Go. That's it, right? Temporal bone. You got this. Now, you can still see the zygomatic major. Oh, careful. Temporalis is over here. Frontalis is at the front. So frontalis is this. Temporalis is over here. All right. So the scalenes are a set of 3 muscles. They go here. They go here. They go here. They go here. They're 3 muscles, and they're called the scalene. All of that area are the scalenes. Exactly. Now, there's the buccinator, where, even though it's a little hard to, well, I'm not going to ask in this picture. Where is the masseter? Because it's very clear in this picture. Yeah, look at that. Chunky. All right, guys, very quickly. Orbicularis oculi. That's it. Pretty eye. So, guys, watch your oris and your oculi. Very easy mistake to slip on. So compare and contrast these ones, okay? If they're similar, it helps to learn them, but you must learn them together or you'll confuse them. All right, awesome. Good job, guys. Now, let's keep going. I don't know what I'm doing. Wait, what am I doing? Oh, too fast. I knew I was going to go. All right, guys. So let's do the scalenes here. So you clear. Find the sternocleidomastoid and go behind it. Exactly. Right? Find that massive sternocleidomastoid and go right behind it, right? Or the best way to say is actually posterior to it, right? All right, excellent. You can see it here, but I'm going to ask it in this one here. Where is the zygomatic major? Here, it's very pretty. Actually, you can see the minor very... somebody gave me the minor. The blue is the minor. Come back to where everybody else is. Is it almost like a right triangle? Well, there you go. Awesome. So, guys, this is perfect. When you look at these muscles, whatever you see, you use that visual that you see as a reference. So when you look, you're like, where's my triangle? Where's my right triangle? Boom, I know what this is. Right, guys? So the people in the yellow, well, whoever did that inhale, that's the area of the zygomatic major. That blue one is the minor, which we're not asking about that, right? We just want the major. So just keep that in mind. All right, awesome. Here again, there's the depressor anguli oris, no problem. Here's the mentalis, right in the middle of your chin. That's it. Boom, mentalis. Okay, guys? Now, watch the suffix, IS. Find those patterns, right? Whatever you see and whatever it reminds you of, use it. This is very, very visual, as you obviously, not to you, but to me, right? But it's so visual, in fact, that whatever you see, use that image to recognize it quickly. And it's all a little different. It doesn't matter. As long as you start seeing something, that's going to aid in your memory, and that's going to be helpful. The bones are less intuitive in that way, but as you're looking at this, the structure of the muscles, you'll be able to see a lot of patterns or whatever jumps out at you. Okay, so the mentalis right here, right in the middle of the chin, right? IS for mentalis. All right, awesome. So we only have the digastric and the mylohyoid, which we technically can't see yet. All right, now here we go. Still, we're kind of turning here. Now, guys, tell me where the mentalis is. We might as well do that, because here you can see the mentalis very clearly. That's right, center of the chin. Some men have like these little dimple. I don't know that I've ever seen a woman have one, but some men have like a sharp kind of dimple or indentation here at the mentalis, like the butt chin. Yes, that's it. That's it. Yes, you have a butt. Oh, very nice. Not sure if you meant the butt chin or just the butt. All right, guys. Awesome. Good. Now, this is not bad. We're going to get into the mylohyoid and the digastric in a second. But you see what I'm saying? We're going to get into a couple things we're going to have to dig into, but that's okay. Knock out the easy ones, guys, right? Butt chins are great. So knock out the easy ones. Like, this is not really that difficult. So get it in there and just knock it out. Right, guys? Reduce your anxiety, increase your ratio of what you don't know to what you know, right? You want to get that ratio of what I know more, and then you're on the road. You're on that way to just knock it out. A lot of this is straightforward. Some of it you're going to have to spend more time on. So knock out the straightforward stuff. Boom, just get it out of the way. All right, awesome. Now, this is not obviously this is not a Kimberly Dutton photo, but I'm showing it because here is the hyoid bone down here. So the hyoid bone is down here, and the digastric muscle looks like a V. 1, 2. It looks like a V like that. Di meaning 2. And then the mylohyoid is actually this vertical fiber direction muscle. So the digastric goes like this, and it attaches you can see it's attaching at the mandible and the hyoid. That's called the digastric. And underneath it, like all the way spanning across underneath it, the black lines are the digastric muscle. Okay? That's all underneath the chin here. And that's attached to the hyoid. All right, guys? And that you don't have to know it on the mini model because it's just too detailed for that small model. All right.
Oh, wait, I'm confused.
Okay. So first of all, show me the digastric. Just show me the digastric first. It looks like a V. Where's the V?
This one.
Yes, that's one side. And what's the other side? That's it. You got your digastric. Now, show me where is the mylohyoid. It's all underneath that. You know what? I'm not sure. I thought I pulled everything off there, but I'm not 100% sure. Yes, that's exactly right. That blue is where it is. So if you know the digastric, the V, underneath it is the mylohyoid. So, Stephanie, I'm not sure if I missed it. I don't have one. But this is what it looks like. Did you see it? Did you see one where you got to see it? Okay. I don't know what to say other than this is what it is. It's very obvious. Like, do you know what I mean? You've got to be at the chin, and you got to hit that V digastric, and all the muscle underneath it is called the mylohyoid. No, I lied. Mylohyoid. Sorry about that. Yeah, take this one, just kind of reference it, right? If we don't have an image on Blackboard, we don't know what we can ask you. I mean, it's got to be kind of real with you. All right, guys, awesome. Not that bad, right? First, get the V in the digastric. You got to be underneath, though, in the chin, right? And then the mylohyoid is going to be all the underlying muscle underneath that.
I have a question.
Go for it.
Okay, so hypothetically speaking, on the final, when they ask about a muscle, I don't know if this is going to be on it or not. Are they only going to ask for one or both?
So digastric is one muscle. It's just got two parts to it. So whatever you see here, so they would just point. They would probably what they would do is they'd have two arrows, one pointing to one of them, one pointing to the other.
Is that the same thing for this?
Yes. So, for example, on this one, what I would think they would do if we have an under chin image, they would have one arrow probably to one of the digastric parts, and then the other. It's called digastric because it has two, right? So we would just point to possibly one arrow on one of them and the other arrow on the other. Although we could just point to one, and you need to know that that's a digastric.
Okay.
And then in the cat, we're going to get to that later, Jennifer. Hold your horses. But yes, it looks exactly like this. So in the cat, it looks just like this. I know. Sorry. All right, guys. Awesome. So let's keep going. This is the image I have for that. Don't worry about any of this. Don't worry about any of this. Don't worry about it. I got a little happy. Okay. So now you have charts in your textbook. This is a different textbook, but I just put it in here because I had it. This is, as you can see, origin, insertion, and primary action. So your textbook should have charts with origin, insertion, and primary action. Now, everybody, pay attention. Please go down to the blue box on page 101, and you will see something that has 1 star or asterisk, and something that has 3 stars or asterisks. So the first 1 star says know the function. Okay? Now, if you look here at this chart, the primary action or function is how things move, right? For example, orbicularis oculi, it blinks and closes the eyes. Guess what? That's good enough, right? When we get to the other muscles that actually do more of our extension, flexion, abduction, adduction, you just need to know what body part it abducts or adducts, right? So if we show a picture of the head model, point to the masseter and say, what is the function of this muscle? You would say for chewing. Done. You guys get me? That's what we want for function. I don't want a book. I don't need anything. I just need to know what does it do. So in this case, you don't have to know the prime mover or things like that. However, if you look on the chart, on the box, blue box, on page 101, it says for the 3 star or 3 asterisks, you have to know the origin, insertion, and function. So you got to get to making this box, right? But not for everything. Only for the triple star muscles, right? For example, under leg muscles, rectus femoris, vastus lateralis, vastus medialis all have 3 stars, which means you got to know the origin, the insertion, and the function, okay? So right off the bat, get that out of your way. Make a chart and just knock it out. And here, this chart is you can find this online. The chart is in your textbook. Knock it out. And that's straight up flashcards. Right, guys? Go ahead, Jensen.
Sorry for the so many questions, but I'm
No,
just trying to understand.
No, it's good. Just ask your question, and then we'll just keep going. You ask your question? No problem.
I have 2 questions, actually. For the origin one, for the rectus femoris one, would we say for the origin is in the quadriceps?
So you'd have to be as kind of specific as possible.
Or leg.
So no, you definitely wouldn't say leg. You would have to say, and it wouldn't be the origin would be on a bone, right? Like, so facial muscles are not on the bone because it's on the face, right? But every other muscle is going to be an attachment on a bone. So you have to tell me the bone. And there we will get into kind of, like, for example, this is a good one, the masseter. The origin is the temporal bone and the insertion is the mandible. The origin is always going to be closer to the midline, like we talked about in lecture. That's the lecture. The origin is going to be where things are held, like tethered. And they're going to be closer to the midline, wherever that is. right? It's just going to be closer in or more proximal. And then the insertion is where things move, right? And so that's going to be wherever it moves, that muscle crosses that joint and attaches to another bone. That's why you see here, almost everything attaches to a bone, except the face is a little different. Sometimes there's not attachment to the actual bone itself. But for example, sternocleidomastoid, the origin, sternum and clavicle. The insertion, temporal bone, right? So you, for everything that has 3 stars, and obviously everything that has 1, you want to drop it into flashcards. For example, everything. You can see that there's charts galore in your textbook. Just knock it out. Know the origin, know the insertion, know what it does, right? And here, this is just an example. All right, guys, that makes sense? Only for the ones that have the appropriate star listing. Okay? All right. Okay, that's it. All right, awesome. Now, this is the first example. So what do? We finished off with the head. We finished the head muscle, oorah. We finished the head on the mini muscle, oorah, right? Now, this image is not in Blackboard. I have this for a reason. The reason is I'm going to orient you with the way that you would expect this to be. Then I'm going to flip you on your head because it doesn't look like this. Sorry. I don't know why the model makers made it the way they did, but they did. So I'm going to orient you the way you would think it would look, and then we're going to have to literally flip it 90 degrees. We're going to have to take this, and it's going to be down here, which is the shoulder, the scapula, and its muscles. And then we're going to bring the arm all the way up here. I know, it sucks. Listen, I don't know why they just can't put it down, but they don't, which means we don't test it like this. However, we're going to orient it like this, and then we're going to flip you like the model's holding their hand up. You guys with me? Okay? So we're going to get this where it's accessible, and then we're going to flip it. I know, it sucks. I know, but I like this image. It's very pretty. It's appropriate. It's labeled, and then we're going to flip it to Kimberly Dutton. All right, guys. And if anyone's like, why Kimberly Dutton? It's the Blackboard image. All right, guys, so let's do it. Where are we? We are in the arm muscle model. So kind of go over beside the mini muscle figure. There's a little column heading, and we're going to go through this, okay? Let's do it. So let's start with the arm, okay? Why not? Should we start with the arm? Yeah, I'm already starting. Okay. So as you can see in this image, we're only looking at the brachium, right? We're not looking at the antebrachium, okay? So we're just going to start here at the brachium, where your triceps are. Now, I want to orient you, first of all. So where are we? Remember, orientation is everything, most especially in the arm. The leg, yes, but I think even more so in the arm. Okay, so what this orientation is this. It's a high five. Right? This whole orientation looks like this. Okay? This is my orientation. This orientation is anterior, even though obviously think about anterior like anatomical position. And the anterior is going to be like a high five. This anterior orientation gives me flexion. Okay, guys? That's where we are. This is anterior, high five. Okay, that's going to matter in a little bit when we talk more. Okay? So what do you see here clearly? What do you see? Well, obviously you don't see much because we got a lot of skin on our cells and whatnot. What you do see clearly, though, is the biceps brachii. Now, we don't have to worry about the long and short head of the biceps brachii. Yeah. We will have to worry about the long, medium, and lateral head of the triceps brachii. So we're going to get into that. But right now, we are in the front. This is my anterior. High five. And this high five is going to matter when we have to flip over like the hands up, like it's asking a question, right? And so here we're going to see what? I see a very clear biceps brachii. Nice biceps brachii popping up here, okay? It's the same muscle, but we're orienting ourselves in a way that's much more intuitive before we have to do the model flip. Okay, now what else do you see here? Well, what else you see is a little peekaboo brachialis. See where I'm going here, guys? Brachialis. That brachialis technically is the prime mover for flexion at the elbow. We use the biceps brachii as a synergist. The brachialis is going to be technically our prime mover for this. Now, guess what? You don't have to know that for lab. You do have to know the muscles for lecture, right? That whole chart, right? Which has extension, flexion, etc. For us, you need to know function. What does it do? So if we say, what does the brachialis muscle do? Elbow flexion. Boom, you got your points. You guys see what I mean? Same with biceps brachii. Elbow flexion. Boom, you got your points. Right? Awesome. Now, you're studying for lecture anyway. Knock them both out. Oh, yeah, I took that out because you didn't need it. Don't worry about it. If it's not on our list, I don't want to deal with it. All right, so brachialis is a peekaboo in the front. Now, brachialis is all underneath the biceps brachii. But here in this front, in this anterior high five position, it's just a peekaboo muscle. In other words, you can just see a little bit. Because when we go to the back, oh my God, sorry. I'm glad I don't have coffee here. Last time I dropped my whole coffee. Anywho, so biceps brachii, though, very clear from the front. Brachialis, just a little peekaboo right there. You can see it by the elbow, right? You want to orient yourself with this area, okay? And you're going to see why in just a little bit. Now, what do I see here? Still in that brachium, in the arm, right? Upper arm. What else do I see here? I see the long head of the triceps. Right, guys? Long head of the triceps. Now, I don't see the lateral head. We have 3 heads, triceps, right? We have 3 heads, and you need to know them all. Now, if you look on this list, there is triceps brachii. You got to know what the origin, insertion, and function is. But there are 3 heads, the long, lateral, and medial. We can ask you a question from the anterior. We can ask you a question from the posterior. We don't actually tell you which one we're going to do. But I'm telling you, you will need to know each of them. So from the anterior, high five. And if you're like, why does she keep doing that? You're going to see. Because one image is anterior with the hand that you can see, high five, the palm, right? The other image is the back. And that's going to be something different. Same muscles, different orientation, right? So what do we get? We get this long head, this really nice muscle. I don't see a lateral. And then what else do I see by the elbow? Little muscle here called the medial head. All right, guys? So what do you put on the test? You put, if we point to the long head, you put long head of the triceps brachii. Medial head of the triceps brachii. Right, guys? Wait, what? Not good? It's okay. They're all triceps brachii, but I want you to go ahead and just put that. So we have 3 heads of the triceps brachii, lateral, long, medial. In the orientation that I'm talking about, because as you can see, I'm repeating this over and over again. So that means it's super important. In this orientation of the front, I can see my biceps brachii, a little peekaboo brachialis, and then most of the triceps that I can see anteriorly, because they're all underneath and they span all the way across. Most of what I can see is the long head of the triceps brachii. Okay? And then there's just a little, and the medial head's small, like it just is. It's small. And that you can see at the elbow. Right, guys? You got that? And again, you just kind of see it labeled there, which I think is helpful. All right. So that's what we can see on the arm, the brachium, from this anterior position. Okay, we're going to come back to this in the Kimberly Dutton. Now, what else can we see? We're not going there yet. We're going to go back up to the shoulder. So this should remind you of the scapula, which is, it does, right? It's going to be the scapula. Now, of course, this is going to be the head of the scapula. Well, the head of the scapula, I have a head of the scapula. But what we see here is when you're in this position, the anterior position, this is the front. So remember we had that subscapular fossa, right? There's no spine. So we have the subscapular fossa in the front. We recognize that. Well, this muscle is called the subscapularis, IS. Subscapular, subscapularis. So you got to remember, if you're in the front, anterior, high five, that muscle is called the subscapularis. Where does it go? It goes like this. Maybe like a watermelon slice or, I don't know, slice of pizza, whatever. That is the subscapularis. Okay? The other muscle you can see in this image, as the labeling shows you, is something called the teres major. Now, we can see the teres minor in the back. All right, guys, see what we did there? So even if it looks divided, yes. Mm-hmm. And we're going to see that in the back where it looks super divided. It looks like there's a few of them together. Well, I mean, think about it like the deltoid. We've got 3 parts of the deltoid. We've got 3 muscles that make up the scalene. They're all just going to be considered one. Lateral triceps head is visible on the posterior view. Yes, the lateral triceps head is the major part of the triceps that you can see. And that's a big difference. You can't see the lateral in this particular image. Now, it gets very interesting in a couple slides. So for now, yes, you're right. And for now, we're just going to go with, in this orientation, anterior, high five, you can see mostly the head of the triceps that you can see, long head. Posterior, most of what you can see is the lateral head. And actually, in the cat, it's quite cool, you have to cut the lateral head to be able to see the full long head. Because the long head starts from the front, anterior, comes all the way around, right? Just like the biceps brachii is all on the top like a dome, well, the triceps brachii is all underneath like a dome. The long head in the front, lateral head in the back. I know. I'm with you. It's cool. It's super cool. But you can watch it. You can watch Dr. Schultz. She does it. So it's not the same, but it is what it is. All right, guys. So you got to orient yourself. Anterior, high five, right? And then I'm going to ask you where stuff is. All right, ready? Where is the biceps brachii? Go, 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 go. Remember, anterior. Now, we can also see it in the back, but it looks different, the size. Awesome. Biceps brachii, biceps brachii. Great. Where is, I'm going to jump a little bit. Actually, no, I'm not going to jump. All right. Where is the brachialis? Now, in the front here, it's peekaboo, right? I just see a little bit here, right? But notice, I'm right here it's the opposite of the elbow, right? Or that cubital area. Good. Now, where is my long head of the triceps brachii? Long head. Come down, guys. That's it. My pointers are good. Very good. Careful. Don't go too long because you're gonna eke into my medial head. Where is my medial head of the triceps brachii? Yep. There we go. Just down, 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 down. Just that. Yep. Just a little peekaboo part down there. It's small. The medial head of the triceps brachii is small. Any way you look at it, it's small. All right, now, where is my subscapularis? Remember, the subscapular bone. That's right. Excellent. Subscapularis, IS. Now, here in the front, you can see this. Teres major, not minor. We got 2 that you are actually supposed to know. Teres major. That's it. Great. Mm-hmm. Perfect. All right, guys. Awesome. See? Not bad. Well, not yet. I don't want to talk about it yet. We're not there yet. All right. Now, Kimberly Dutton. Now, before you freak out, right? Because you're looking at this going, what in the hell is this? Look. Look, 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 look. This is the front of the scapula, but this is the top. So I'm going to label this A. Are you guys ready? Watch what I do here. I'm going to label that A. I'm going to label that B. Ready? Watch. A, B. You got me, guys? You with me? Okay? You got to be with me because this gets janky, janky, janky. Right? I know. Listen, I feel you. It's actually, definitely, it's not a college thing. It's a flippin' model maker thing. Again, why? I don't know, but it's there, and we have to deal with it. So, guys, I know, super janky people. Yeah, exactly. It's not even doing a handstand. It's holding up its hand like it's asking a question. I know. Oh, no, Kimberly didn't do it. Kimberly's so sweet. No, we can never slap Kimberly. Kimberly's off limits, people. No slapping Kimberly. We can slap the model maker, but not Kimberly. All right, guys. So watch this again. This is why I like this model, right? It's pretty. It's clear. It's understandable. You're not going to be tested on this. Don't go for Kimberly. Oh my God, people, you're like rioters. Stop it. All right. Now, watch my A and B, guys. Ready? Watch it. Oh, see, it disappeared. Thanks. A, B. Okay? Now, because it's like this, it means we're not going to ask you about it, but it means that is the biceps brachii. We're not going to ask it here because that's some lunacy. But we can ask for the teres major. Where is it, guys? Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. That's it. Oh, come back. Oh, no, come back. You got to go back on the scapula. That's not the scapula. Come back. That's actually the clavicle, guys. Look at that. That's the clavicle. And that's the front. So that's the back. Right, guys? Now, I know it's okay. I can recognize it more because obviously I've looked at it for longer. But teres major is here. You see that, guys? Which makes all of this what? Look at your list, guys. Look at your list. It's the front. It's the subscapularis. Exactly. Right? So if you feel the need, take a snapshot and use this to orient yourself. Okay, guys? All right. You see what I'm saying? You get my madness now? We're here. The front is the subscapularis. Why? It's the subscapular fossa, or the interior part of the scapula. All right. I know. It is wild. I know. Guys, but we're all realists here. We all got to take what we got and make the best of it. And this is an example of that. We got this. So that's what I'm saying. You got to look at it and know quickly. Otherwise, don't do that. Just know it quickly. All right, awesome. And I think, by the way, this is the brachial plexus. So if you jump over to the second row and go all the way down, there are 4 nerves. Brachial plexus, median nerve, ulnar nerve, radial nerve. The last 3 are super easy. Why? Median nerve, the yellow thing in the middle of your antebrachium, right? And we'll see it. The ulnar nerve, your ulna is all the way down the side of your pinky. Find the pinky, find the yellow string. Got it, guys? Radius, it's at the thumb, from the thumb. Your radius is on the thumb side of your arm, of your antebrachium, right? That's easy too. This one, a plexus, means a bundle of nerves. And of course, because I'm at my scapula, what do I have at my scapula? I've got, technically the auxiliaries here. We're going to see later that the brachial nerves come after C7. So it's like C7, T1, you've got this whole network of nerves, and that's the brachial nerves, all coming out for the arms. All right. Nonetheless, just know that yellow bunch there, it's called the brachial plexus. All right. So we're not bad. Medial, not, so we don't even want to look at the arm here. There's just not enough to look at here. We just want to focus on that. Is that the right arm? Oh, Lord. That's the front. That's the arm. Yes. No. Yes. What the hell? Hold on. It's backwards. It's upside down. I'm not sure. I have to think about it. Okay, we're going to go with Frank. We're going to say yes. I have to really think about it. It's too much right now, guys. I can't. Sorry. Now, because you don't have to know right or left, I don't feel bad about that. It's too much for me to try to even, honestly, my brain will explode if I have to work that upside down and then right or left. Don't hurt my brain. It hurts. All right, guys. Now, here we go. Oh, guys, here it is, the right arm. All right. Tanya, give me 1 second. I just want to, so guys, that image was this. So it is the right arm. You see what happened there? That image is this. So it's like putting your hand up. Okay, Tanya, go ahead. I just wanted to I wanted to connect that before. Go ahead.
Oh, this picture answered my question. I just thought it's hard. I couldn't see the rest of the human. Like,
exactly. No,
I
know.
It was weird. Thank you.
I know, it was weird. So maybe I should have done this one first. Sorry, guys. My fault. I do. Things make sense to me at the time, and then I didn't play you. Was I wrong? Anybody tell me, was I wrong? Now, it might have not been the best pedagogical move. Sorry, Tanya. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. It really, I don't know. Anyway, nonetheless, this is still a legitimate question picture. So just know that this is a thing, and then that'll help you understand it. You're welcome. That was the goal all along. I don't know. It made sense. Yes. Yes, it is on Blackboard, my friends. Why? Kimberly Dutton. And I didn't cut this out. I didn't like trim this. It looked like this. I know. So you're no, we love, stop it. You guys are really, 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 hold on. Let me just stop it. Stop it. Love Kim. She's amazing. Oh, you guys are horrible. No, I delete all of you. I delete you all. No, I have the power. In Oregon. I know it's janky. For sure. You guys are horrible. You're so mean. All right, guys. So back to this. Now that you can see how it works, and yes, this apparently is the right arm. Remember, go back to your orientation. Now, remember all this high five crap I'm telling you? Well, look at this, guys. High five, right? High five, anterior, right? And then you're just going to go all the way down. Now, guess what we have here? What's this? I will tell you, though, that, let me see, this is the high five. Yeah, we're good. We're good on that one. So what is this here, guys? Hold on. What's this here? Biceps brachii. Now, what do we have here? Little peekaboo. Little peekaboo right there at the elbow. What do we got, guys? It's a peekaboo just by the biceps brachii. Brachialis. Boom. Now, we're going to keep going. Now, remember, use your orientation. Remember, as we keep going, we're going to have the medial over here. We're going to have the medial over here by the elbow, right? So that's the medial head. That's the medial head of the triceps brachii. Now, you know it because of two things. Anterior. You got me, guys? Really important. And then we don't see the lateral head from this position, right? What do we see? We see the long head. You get me, guys? You see what I'm doing here? You got to look and say, oh, high five, I got it, right? And then that's the subscapularis. And somebody put the little blue over that teres major. All right, guys, you with me? You see it? Now, if you look on the left here, I just pulled this off of the internet because it's labeled, and it's the same model. You can see it's not Kimberly Dutton, but it's the exact same model. So we can see the lateral head only on the pretty much yes, right? So we've got that medial head clearly showing, small little medial head at the elbow, by the elbow of the anterior, the front, and then a nice long head. So that's basically, yes, that's basically a good way to see it. So do you see what we're doing here, guys? Okay, we're going to get into this area here in just a little bit. So again, we haven't gotten there yet. Tanya, go for it.
So the muscle on the right side that's not by the subscapularis, the muscle on the other side attached to the clavicle, is that part of the latissimus dorsi? Is it?
I really seriously have to. If it depends, if that's supposed to be the back, well, so if we have the clavicle and if it's attached to it, it's probably going to be the pectoralis major. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure because the orientation messes me up. But if we're talking about the clavicle, it's going to be in the front. So most likely, if it's going to be the pectoralis major, which we'll get to. But I'm almost 100% sure we're not going to ask anything about that. It's just going to be the arm, and we've only covered half of it, and the front of the scapula in this orientation. So I'm sorry, but if it's the clavicle, I'm going to go with pectoralis major.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, or is it it might be the sternocleidomastoid. It looks like I'm just trying to figure out, like I turned around in my chair.
I know. I'm with you.
I can't see the human. And now
I know. I'm totally with you. So this is why I want you to start here, right? Where you can see the human. Because the human is your head. I'm going to give this human a head. I'm going to give this human a neck. And there. And that's the shoulder. It's a weird orientation. There. That's the human. So here's the shoulder, which we've taken it off. Here's the scapula. Now, this is a little head. Obviously, it would be much bigger. Whatever, guys. I don't care. Hate all you want. All right, Jensen, go for it. But Tanya, did that help at all? Can you see the human? See, I can see the human more here. I have to extrapolate this image here because it's hard for me to orient. That's why I'm like, well, if it's attached to this clavicle, it has to be the pectoral muscles because the back doesn't really come all the way around. We do have latissimus dorsi attaching to the humerus. That's a thing. But I don't think it got all the way up to the clavicle. So for now, don't worry about it. Just worry about the front upper part of the arm and then the front of the scapula. And then Jensen, go for it. And then Brisa, give me a second.
Do you mind going back to the upside down arm?
Yes, we're going to go back there. All right. So again, guys, right now, this is what we've gone over. We've gone over the front of the scapula, subscapularis teres major. Gone over the front, the anterior part of the upper part of the arm. We haven't gone over the back, and we haven't gone over anything about the chest. That's why I'm almost positive we will not ask about this, right? And we haven't done any of this yet. All right, so Jensen, ask your question. Just to orient you guys so you know where we are right now.
Okay, my question was, I want to make sure my professor was correct. He said that the pectoral major
We haven't gotten there yet.
is right here because it goes under your armpit.
So we haven't gotten there yet, so don't even worry about that. We're not doing the pectoralis major in this orientation yet. All we are here, guys, is the arm. So, okay, this is important. Guys, this is important. Listen, look at the arm. Now, this is important because I want you to study strategically. Look at this arm. Okay, first of all, this is called the arm muscle model. Whatever we want you to know of the arm muscle model is this. Okay, are you guys with me? Now, this is important. I'm not being flippant here. I want you to really, really understand this. What you see in front of you is called the arm muscle model. Now, I want you all to look at all of these words and tell me if anyone sees oh my gosh, I'm having a brain fart. If anyone sees the pectoralis major in this model. Does anyone see the pectoralis in this model? No. Which means, guys, what? This is not the model where we have to worry about this, right? Now, we will flip this model on the backside, Diamond. We will. And on the backside, guys, we're going to get on the front side of the body, we're going to get the pectoralis major and all of the abdominal muscles. And then when we flip it over, which is going to be the mini muscle man, guys, I want you guys to listen. And I know it's not being flippant. I really want you to listen because I want you to study correctly. This is the model where you're going to have to label supraspinatus, infraspinatus, subscapularis, teres major, minor, deltoid, biceps brachii, brachialis, triceps brachii, blah, 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 pronator teres, supinator, flexor digitorum, brachioradialis, extensor digitorum, brachial plexus, median nerve, ulnar nerve, radial nerve. That's it. So when you see this bad boy weirdo muscle, that's what you study, both the front and the back, right? Does that make sense, guys? And we're going to do both. But if it's not on that list, don't do it. Don't do it. That's why I'm like, I don't know what's here. And guess what? I don't care. Put it together with the model, and then we'll talk more about it. But do you see what I'm saying, guys? It really, really, really matters because you're going to start confusing the crap out of yourself. Don't do it. We're going to look on the muscle model. And if you look on the muscle the mini muscle figure, go to your left. You're going to see here, we've got sternocleidomastoid trapezius, right in the back, infraspinatus, teres major, teres minor, latissimus dorsi. And again, where's my pectoralis major? Somewhere is my pectoralis major. I don't know. Somewhere in here is my pectoralis major. Here. It's like in the next set of things. Thank you. Exactly. The point is, don't learn stuff that's not on the model, right? It doesn't make sense that we're going to take an arm model and start doing the body. So, guys, just stay with me. We will get there. But we've got to stay with the model specific. Okay, guys? Are we all on the same page now? I do not care what this is. Most likely, if it's attached to the clavicle, it's the pectoralis because it's the clavicle. Otherwise, I don't care, right? I just want the model, I want the muscle, and the muscle is on a list. After that, I don't care. And it's not that I don't want to answer your questions. I want you to stay focused with where we are on this model. Okay, can I get some thumbs up? Are you guys with me? Because it gets super confusing if we start thinking about things we don't have to. All right, awesome. Thank you, guys. Good questions, though. And I understand, and I totally get Jensen's question, and I understand, Tanya, you're like, I don't even see the person. I don't get this. But this is where you start with, right, guys? This is your model. This is your person. You flip it like this, you got it. All right, guys? Let's go. We got this, okay? Boom, boom, boom. Awesome. Okay, so now we're going to the antebrachium or the forearm. Okay, we just started with the brachium or the top of the arm. We did the scapula only in the front. Notice my crazy madness here. I'm staying anterior. How do you know? High five. Right? Now, sometimes you can't see that high five. There's like one or two images that you can't see the hand. So you got to know where you are. But generally, high five's the front. This is your orientation in your mind, right? And then obviously you want to study with this guy like this, putting his hand up. Okay, so you don't need to know all of this. There's a couple that you do obviously need to know. One. Now, this is what I see. When I look at this picture, I see the pronator teres. Now, again, I've been doing this for a while, so, it's what I see. You see it here? This muscle looks like it's tucked in. It looked like they took that pronator teres and they shoved it right underneath the muscle right beside it. Now, what happens to be the muscle right beside it that looks like they shoved that pronator teres? Oh, that happens to be the brachioradialis. What part of the arm is your radius? The pinky finger or the thumb? Where's your radius? It's the thumb, which means if you want to find the brachioradialis, flap it down, find your thumb, slap it right to the side. Boom. And then you know that muscle that looks like it's tucked under the brachioradialis, pronator teres. You got me, guys? You see what I'm doing with that? Again, it's all about, you got to orient yourself fast. High five. A French spray, that's great. Or like some of that really, I don't know, whatever. I was going to say something, but it's stupid. So anyway, awesome. So again, I see that as being tucked in. So right off the bat, I can see that pronator teres. Teres, right? And again, brachioradialis. Well, guess what that part of the arm is called? The brachium, right? Well, technically the antebrachium, but still. And then the radialis, IS, right? And again, it's at your thumb. So you can put it down, slap your arm, boom, brachioradialis. You can go right by the elbow. You can kind of pinch that area right by the elbow there. And what do I have? Pronator teres. All right, guys? Now, a lot of the stuff you don't need, except for one. Are you ready? This muscle is the bane of my existence. But we've got this. It's called the flexor digitorum. It is a bastard. It is on the opposite side of the radius, which means it's on the ulnar side, right? The ulna. It's just this little tiny thing here. And I'm making it really big. It's actually much smaller than that. It's like literally just right here. That's it. Now, how do you do it? Find your pinky, find your pinky, find your pinky. And then you move up in between two muscles. One of them is called the flexor carpi ulnaris. But guess what? You don't have to know that. You just got to find your pinky, and it's got to be the high five side, right? Anterior. You can't see this on the back. Why? This is for flexion. It flexes at the wrist. Flexor digitorum. It flexes your wrist, right? All right. Is it all that section? No, actually it's not, because there's something else. In this image it might be, but not in any of the images that we have. It's very thin and you can almost never see it. I know it sucks, but it's between this area called the palmar longaris, which is very evident, and it's between here, which is called the flexor carpi. We don't have to know those. Just know, find your pinky, right, the ulnar part, and then come back up in the muscle, and that's the flexor digitorum. We need to get back to our image. Would you put? Yeah, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Remember, guys, this is not your your image, but what it does is orients you, right? We're orienting ourselves. Got to find the high five, got to find the thumb for the radius, got to find the ulna for where that flexor digitorum is, right? You got to find got to find that for the brachioradialis, the thumb, right. The pronator teres tucks in under that brachioradialis. All right, that's it. So now we've oriented in a way that you can understand. Okay, now here we go. I did not crop this bad boy, right? That is an image from Blackboard. The left one is it's labeled, so that's going to help you out. The right one is from Blackboard. Do you see my arrow? You see how janky it is? Let me tell you. This is that palmaris muscle, right? That's the ulnar muscle. You see that? Yeah, that's right. Look at the tendon. Now, the nice thing is there's nothing else we want in here, but that muscle is literally between those two. You see that, guys? And even if they do, we don't ask for the other ones. We don't ask for that palmar, and we don't ask for the ulnaris. So I know, Brisa, I know. I hate this muscle, but it's okay. As long as you get the high five, and you get that you're going from the ulnar. Don't mess it up. Don't put the flexor digitorum on that brachioradialis, my friends. Right? Don't do it. Right? It's okay. That's why in this class, what are we doing? We're digging into the images, right? So we're getting this done in class. I know. You guys are like... You're like the worst. Stop it. Horrible. All right. But you guys see where I'm going with this, right? You got to high five yourself first. You got to know where you are. The flexor is always anterior. Boom, boom, boom. Flexor is always anterior everywhere, right? I'm not sure I don't know, because again, I don't know. I mean, this image is not very big, and this is probably smaller than what you'll see on the exam. So this is pretty what you'll see. So, I think this is this size image, what we're working on now, is pretty kind of standard. You'll probably get something a little bit bigger on the exam, I think. So this size image is kind of it. Now, again, guys, even if it was bigger, the reality is that most of these muscles are bigger. This just happens to be a janky one. You got to figure out where you are fast, right? You got to know that flexor digitorum is not at the thumb. It's at the ulna, right? And then you can say, it's that tendon thing in between there. But there's nothing else you need. If you had to know the palmaris, it would suck. But you don't. You only have to know one here. It's the flexor digitorum. You guys, you got me? I got whatever? You guys are horrible. So technically, yes, it's where that tendon is. That's a tendon. All right. Oh, you guys are horrible. All right, I'm ignoring the chat. You guys go ahead. Keep going. All right, guys, are you ready? Where is my pronator teres? This is a great image for pronator teres. I like it. I'd ask it. Where is my not on this one? You guys are horrible. You can't tell me on the thing you're not going to be tested on. Yes. Thank you. Awesome. That's it. I tuck in, remember? All right, guys. Where is my Where's my brachioradialis? This is a great image. I don't see all of it. But guess what? I see enough. I know that I'm coming off of my, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. You can kind of tell that's the thumb, and now you know. But what I see that pronator teres. Boom. Like, that to me jumps the heck out. Like, I see this muscle, like boom, right away. And that means, okay, for sure then, that's my brachioradialis. And if that's my brachioradialis, well, that's my radius is going to be under here, which means I've got this digitorum, this flexor digitorum on the ulnar side, right? On the ulnar side. So I'm serious about this orientation thing. Does that make sense? Do you guys see that a little bit better? You got to do it that way. Figure out what stands out to you, and then you'll know where you are. But again, high five, anterior. Even though here, I can't really see the digits, which is hard. This one's much easier. If they did this orientation, that would be great, right? I see the hand. I know everything here. All right. Do you guys see what we're doing here? Are you with me? Again, though, this is a testable image, so we gotta talk about it. All right. Hopefully, you're starting to see the pattern. Now, this is really, but Kimberly. Oh God. I love Kimberly. She's so nice. I hope she's super successful. You guys are horrible. All right, guys. That's your flexor digitorum, right? Find the pinky. Go down a bit. You got it. Okay. Now, this is also an image. Very quickly. Are you ready? Are you ready? What do you find first? You find the pronator. Yes, y'all knew I was going to do that, didn't you? Pronator teres. Now, I actually prefer the image on the left, but it's the exact same image. If you look at it, except they took one more muscle group off. Okay, really important. If you're not listening, stop and listen, because you will get this wrong if you don't. I guarantee you. Now, they have taken off the brachioradialis muscle. It's not Brisa. Now, you're going to kill us even more, because you can take off the muscles and go deep. Now, we only do this for this one muscle. But we do. Watch, guys. Are you ready? Look. See this? Pronator teres, brachioradialis. You see how there's a little tiny thing here? You see this little tiny thing here? Well, that keeps that brachioradialis muscle in place. You flip that little thing up and, yes, you can. And guess what? You can see the supinator. Right? Watch. Supinator. So, you've got to notice. Make a note. Stick it somewhere. Do something. This image, theoretically, we could ask for the pronator teres here. I just think it would be weird. If you see this image, almost 100%, we're going for the supinator. You got me? I know. That's why. Listen, y'all can find the origin and insertion in your textbook. You can. It's not that big of a deal. Put it in a flashcard. But this is not always straightforward when you're just looking at it. So that's why we got to dig in here. Yes. And this one would be the median nerve, because you see how it's right in the middle? Right? Anything, oh, wait, did I lie? I didn't lie. That's right. Anything over to the thumb, any yellow thing over to the thumb is going to be the radial nerve. Anything over towards the pinky finger is going to be the ulnar nerve. That's it. Do not stress yourself over that. All right. Are you with me, guys, on this image? The take-home message here is you got to notice we took out that brachioradialis because the supinator is deep to the brachioradialis. All right. That's it. Get your points, my friends. Get your points. Yes, Jensen.
Did you mean this red line right here was the medial nerve?
So only the yellow, so the red is going to be an artery, the yellow are all going to be nerves. So when we ask for a nerve, yeah. And that's the nice thing. For now, because we don't do arteries and veins till AMP2. That's cardiovascular. For now, the only thing we ask for a couple in the leg, but the nerve is always going to be yellow. So in this case, it would be more closer to down, like down here. And that median nerve is in the middle. I'm making it black, but it's going to be in the middle. In other words, it's going to be in the middle between the ulnar, which is your pinky finger area, and your radial nerve. You can't see either of those very well here. I mean, maybe, yeah, these are not good images for the nerves. All right. Are you guys good? Are we good? Take home message. We moved the brachioradialis here so that we could get to this muscle, which is called the supinate. Well, I did too much. This is the supinator. Okay. All right. That's it. Awesome. Now let's go, go, go. Okay. Now, I don't care about this. Sorry. All right. So we are now on the back. Okay, guys? See what I'm doing? My body is his body. So Tanya, my body is his body. See? That's my deltoid here. Massive comes across and covers. Yes. Well, because I understood what you were saying, right? Like, I understood what you were saying. It's kind of like, there's no body. Like, there's a head, but where's the body? And it does matter, that anterior, posterior. So this is the body. I got the body. And now, guys, no high five. We have removed ourselves from the high fives. We are in the back. Really, really orient yourself here. Literally, this is it. So my deltoid is going to be up here, obviously. And then it covers part of my shoulder, which is going to be we're going to see the rest of the muscles, which I'll talk about, okay? So I'm in the back. Really important. Now, you will not see this muscle, but again, we're able to orient and see what that should look like. And then we're going to go up like this. All right, so let's do it. Deltoid. This is similar to what someone had mentioned with the subscapularis. Like there were three kind of branches of muscles, or these three parts of the muscle. Well, look at this. You can see that same thing here. That's all the deltoid. We have anterior, posterior, and superior. Don't worry, we just want the deltoid. Okay, guys? Now, in this way, I'm starting with the shoulder. So, I don't know. That's just it. So, again, this is just the deltoid, straightforward. But you gotta know. We are posterior now. There's no high five. High five is anterior flexion. That's why we have the flexor digitorum, and then we flex at the elbow. For the front, this one's like Rosie the Riveter. Oh yeah, I guess, is this the way she does it? I don't know. So, Jennifer, you just screwed. It's in the back. I don't know. It's in the back. All right, guys. Awesome. So let's go ahead and stick with the shoulder for now. Now, in the back, do you guys remember when we had the infraspinatus? Well, so this is the infraspinatus muscle, right? Remember that we had the infraspinatus fossa? And let me just make sure that it was the US. Hold on. I don't want to say it wrong. I'm going back. You don't have to know this, but I just want to... where's my scapula? Yes, so it's not the spinatus. It's in the infraspinous fossa. Remember we have the infraspinous fossa underneath the spine? Well, this is the infraspinatus muscle. Same thing, underneath on the back, right? Spine, back, infra below, infraspinous muscle. Okay, there we have it. And then I'm going to skip this and I'm going to go to the teres major. Okay, guys, see that? Now, in between the infraspinatus muscle, this is the back, and teres major is the teres minor. All right, guys, you got that? And this is the best way to think about it because it's relatively easy in any position to see that infraspinatus muscle. It really is. Now, the supraspinatus muscle is a little tricky, but we'll get to it. All right, does that make sense, guys? The back, right? You got to get that orientation. Okay, good. Now, that's not bad. Again, you're not going to get this image. It's just oriented in a way, or orientated, whatever, in a way that makes sense, right? You can do this yourself. So now we are in the back of the upper arm. So this is important. Just like we saw in the front, right? You got a pretty biceps brachii, a little peekaboo brachialis. You've got a lot of that long head of the triceps brachii, and that medial head is legitimately just small. It doesn't actually peekaboo, it's just small. Okay? So teres major is visible both. Yes, it is. Exactly. And that's why, if you think about that, in the front, you've got the supraspinatus. I just need to stop. The subscapularis in the front, and then you've got that teres major. So you got to know your front. High five. Right, guys? And then when you go to the back, then you've got that infraspinatus. Remember, spine, infra, underneath. Infraspinatus in the back. and you've got the teres major here. In between them is the teres minor. That's how I remember it. The teres minor is in the back between that infraspinatus and the teres major. That makes sense? It'll make sense in a second. All right. Okay, here we go. Back to the arm in the back. Important. So notice that we've got less of biceps brachii here because, you know, we don't see it as much when we're in this posterior position, right? But look at this, guys. That brachialis, really chunky in the back. Peekaboo brachialis in the front, much more brachialis in the back. Does that make sense, guys? All right, now, here's your triceps. Look at this. Are you ready? Look at this. I'm in the back. Here's my elbow. Look at all this muscle here. All of this, triceps brachii, lateral head. And then from the back, I just have a peekaboo long head because that long head is actually underneath the lateral head. Oh, do you think so? That's great. Yeah, but do you guys see it? Do you guys see what I'm going for here? In the back, you've got this really big lateral head that you can see underneath, just kind of, and that's why it's more lateral. If you put your arm here, oh, that's right. It's going to have a bunch of lateral muscle here to the side. Okay? And then we have a peekaboo long head. You can't see the medial head here. On the cat, we actually have to open up the lateral head to even see the medial head at all. All right, guys, you with me? So not bad, but what do you got to do? You got to compare the front and the back, anterior, posterior, right? Because that long head is nice and big in the front and small in the back. No lateral head images, pretty much. All right, awesome. That's what I want. Now, that's okay that we haven't got to this antebrachium, the bottom part of the arm yet. That's okay. All right, good. Now, very quickly, where is the teres minor? Between the teres major and the infraspinatus. Exactly. Boom. You're going to find this. I'm going to show you the mini model. You can find it. Once you get this, you're good. All right, where is the teres major? That's it. That's your teres major. Oh, careful. Don't go to reminder. There we go. Where's the infraspinatus? Infraspinatus. Remember, we're on the muscle, so you got a US, right? Us. Good. Now, where is the brachialis? People are going to mess this up. People are going to mess it up. Don't go biceps brachii on me, people. Come down. Oh, you went biceps brachii on me. Oh, come back. That's it. Watch your orientation, guys. Little peekaboo brachialis in the front, anterior, right? Little one underneath that nice biceps brachii. In the back, I got more of a peekaboo biceps brachii. Exactly. Boom. Do you see what we're doing here? Do you see that slight difference? Now, this is a big difference. Where's my lateral head of the triceps brachii? This is big. Okay, now don't go too far up. Careful. That's it. Nice. Good. Oh, somebody gave me some. All right. Where is the long head? Long head, guy. That's it. Just there. Don't go too far. There we go. Good job. Very good. Awesome. That's it. Now, you can't really see medial on this orientation. Right, guys? That's what I'm talking about. Awesome. Good. All right. Sweet. Now, yay! Now we're going to do this. Are you... All right, guys. So, you're long. Okay, guys. No. Okay, I know it is. But, remember, go back to what makes sense with a clean, understandable orientation. First of all, back of your hand. Guys, we might have, but it doesn't matter. We're in the back of the hand, right? That really, really matters. Everything we talked about before, that nice bicep brachii, little peekaboo brachialis, the long head of the triceps brachii, the medial head of the triceps brachii, that is the front. High five. This is in the back. Okay, guys? So, again, what do you see right off the bat? Somebody tell me, where is my deltoid? That's the cue here. Not on the labeled ones, you people. That's it. Right off the bat, what do you see? you see that massive deltoid, right? Massive deltoid. From there, you know I'm in the back. Now the deltoid goes to the front. Yes, it does. But look where the massive part of the deltoid is, in the back. All right, guys, are you ready? You know this. I'm going to ask this because I think this is a good question. Teres major. Right? Nice. Awesome. You got this. Now, I want to go to the next one that you know. The infraspinatus. Give yourself a little bit of room there. Yep. And actually, one more little muscle segment. That's it. Give me one more. That's it. Now stop. Oh, the last person. Oh. All right, good. Now, hold on, because I got to erase it, because y'all jacked it up. No. All right, now, take a second and look at this. It's okay. Don't draw on it yet. Take a second, guys. Right off the bat, you see that deltoid, right? Oh, man, that's a massive deltoid. I'm in the back. Right off the bat. The next thing, you're like, look at that massive teres major. Oh, man. The next thing you want to look at, that's good. You guys can point at it. That's okay. But no drawing yet. The next thing you want to look at is, oh, man, I see the infraspinatus. Right? Exactly. Now, because we're in the back, tell me, you can write on this. Where's the teres minor? Go. That's it. Make it small, guys. Don't make it big. Make it small. It's tucked in between the infraspinatus and the teres major. You with me? You see what I'm saying? That's why start with an orientation that makes sense. Then flip it. Now, this is a testable image, guys. But don't freak out, right? If you need to, take a screenshot of this. Go through this and then flip it and say to yourself, I know where I am. That's my deltoid. Massive. I know most of the deltoid's going to go on the back, right? And then I've got my teres major. You got your teres major. I got my even though it looks like there's like 3 different muscles here, this is all the infraspinatus. And then between the teres major and the infraspinatus, I've got the that's right. Whoever did that, thank you. Perfect. Teres minor. Do you guys see? You see where I'm going with this? You've got to study this and look and know your orientation right off the bat. All right, now, excellent. You guys are moving up to the arm. Let's do it. Okay, now, be careful. This orientation is slightly turned. So, I want you to tell me, where is the, and I just want to make sure, I'm actually double checking myself. All right, now, this is turned. Okay, next question with this image. Follow me. Where's the elbow? The elbow. Yes, go to the elbow, guys. I know, it seems weird, but trust me, go to the elbow. So, for the shoulder, scapular muscles, you got to go to the deltoid and then work out the scapula, right? No problem. With this image, look, circle both elbows. Both images, circle their elbows. I want to show you something. Yes. Now, stop. No, seriously, stop. Look at the orientation. Obviously, we don't care about this image because you're not tested on it, but this orientation is a little bit different, right? So, look at the elbow and orient yourself, okay? First of all, I want you to notice that there is the muscle like this. Here, see that kind of break in the muscle there? This part is going to be and I have to make sure. Even I have to make sure. Okay, hold on. I'm actually going to make sure. This part here, okay, hold on, give me a second. It's this. You see this, guys? This. This here and this here is that's the lateral head. So in this image, I only see a peekaboo long head. Are you guys with me on that? Right? And then in this image, I can see a peekaboo medial head. Because you orient yourself around the elbow. Elbow. And then if you see this, watch. This one has a lot of that tendon. You see that tendon here? You see that tendon here? You guys see what I'm doing here? That elbow, that tendon, the white part, you got to orient that with the lateral head, right? And then there's your peekaboo long head, right? It's not very big in this orientation. There's what am I doing? I don't know what to do. Hold on, guys. There we go. There, yep. And then I got a peekaboo. See that? Peekaboo, long head. And I do have a little peekaboo medial head in the back. At the elbow. All right, guys. Kind of hard, but this is what you do. Ready? Let me get this thing out of here. Okay. First of all, I want you to notice this. Okay. Elbow. Okay. Lateral head. Okay. Maybe like kind of like a feather, maybe. And then, yep. And then you're going to go to your peekaboo long head here. Peekaboo long head. Okay. And then there is a little medial head at the elbow. All right, guys? Do you kind of see that? Because, okay? So, it's a lot. A lot. Just know your back deltoid. Teres major. Infraspinous. Teres minor. Find the elbow on the back and trace that with this little piece of hardware, and that's going to be your lateral. Peekaboo long and little medial. I don't know if they would ask. That's good. That's good, actually. Like this. They might ask with this little peekaboo up here. I think they would do more anterior for the medial. All right, guys. Does that make sense? Do you guys see that? The medial is very hard to see here. All right, guys. Whew. That's a lot. I'm tired. Whew. Sorry. So, okay. I hope that's okay. Just a little tip here, which is not anatomical. See this guy here? That's part of the lateral head of the tricep. I know it's not cool because it's not anatomical, but just FYI. Do your elbow, and this guy is part of the lateral head. It's not cool, but it's true. So, all right. Ooh, that's a lot. Okay, guys, good job. Good job. Now, here it is. To Kimberly Dutton. Are you ready? Circle the elbow. Go. Just do it. Circle the elbow. Both of them. Yep. Get me that elbow, people. Yes. Now, what did I tell you? Now, again, this is not anatomical, so I'm a little embarrassed, but I don't care. It works. What did I tell you about the hardware? Yes. So remember, it's the lateral is both the hardware, yes, and the little white part there. So look at this image over here, guys. Yes, that's pretty good of that medial. Good job, whoever did it on the left. Okay, guys, watch. Long head. You see this? You guys see that? You see how they slightly turned at this direction? Slightly turned at this direction? Yes. I think you guys have it. Do you guys feel kind of comfortable with this? I know it's janky. Now, but did you notice how I put these two images together, right? They're similar images, but you got to study them together because, and again, what do you got to know? Boom, I'm in the back. I'm in the back because I've got my deltoid, right? Boom, find your hardware. Sorry, but it's a thing. Find your elbow, right? And then most of that white is going to be that lateral head. There's my long head. There's my wee little over here medial head. Yes, Tanya.
May I take a snapshot of the previous slide?
Oh, sure, of course. There you go. Go for it. Like, absolutely. Just take your pictures. But I'm sure I moved it faster. Thank you. All right, guys. Whew, you with me, guys? And then what happens is, as you study these images, because notice that these are you guys ready? We have to write everything, triceps brachii. Yeah, just because, you got to know triceps brachii anyway, you know what I mean? So just put long head, lateral head, or, Okay, you want to take a quick break? We can take a quick break. All right, let's take a quick break, guys.